as you all know, I attended my business sister's human design workshop a couple nights ago. Thankfully, I had the chance to talk to her partner, which is also my brother, and he reminded me of the importance of knowing what our motivations are when it comes to the human design. And so, for instance, his motivation was guilt. When it comes to my business sisters, her motivation is hope. And I was reminded that my motivation is need. And so I had to do a little bit more research on that, really realizing my understanding was it was just like basic human needs, right? Like food, shelter, and water. And so I'm not sure if you all know this, but I was like, if food, shelter, and water is what motivates me, then that's tough in a way because I'm really having to put my wall up against, how do you say that? Put your back up against the wall. And it's like, how far back up against the wall do I need to put myself in a situation to finally make the moves and feel enough pain to move forward? And I think that's the thing that we have to remember is that at what point do we need to be at? What situation do we need to be at that will force us to move? Unfortunately, for a lot of us, sometimes it could be a life or death situation. That's the time when most people make their moves. And I don't know about you, but that's not what I want to experience to finally make that move. But thankfully, them, of course, being much more into the human design than I am, he reminded me about if my motivation is need, to not forget about the 6 human needs by Tony Robbins. I'm not sure if you know about the dude, but the dude actually, now that I think about it, he's the one who says that he has created the coaching industry as to what it is in the past 50 years. And so I went to go watch that TED Talk. It's actually one of the first TED Talks ever. And it's like top 7 out of all of the talks that Ted has put on, I guess. And so he reminded me of our 6 human needs. So number 1 is certainty. Number 2 is uncertainty. Number 3 is significance. Number 4 is love and connection. Number 5 is growth. And number 6 is contribution. Okay, let's break that down really quick. So these are the 6 human needs. The number 1 is certainty. Knowing that you're going to get your paycheck. Knowing that you might potentially wake up the next day. Knowing that, you got to go to this place or that place. This is where your grocery store is going to be at. Okay. Number 2 is uncertainty. The spontaneity, the surprises, the things of that sort. Number 3 is significance, wanting to feel like we're important, that we matter in the world. And a lot of times we can do that by, he was using an example of getting tattoos and piercings and feeling unique and whatever the case may be. And then number 4 is love and connection. What I found most interesting about this was that those top 4 human needs fulfill the personality's needs, like our personality, our ego, like that. Those 4 fulfill our personality's needs. Now the other 2, growth and connection, growth and contribution, those needs fulfill our spiritual selves. And this is when we start experiencing fulfillment. And so again, when it comes to growth, if we're not growing, we're dying. I know that's a little difficult to chew on, but think about that. It's like right now in this moment, dying, that's what we shook hands on, y'all. And so if we're not growing, like going upward, then we're going this way. So there's this tension each day that it's like, am I going to go this way or this way? And no matter what, I think for me, it's like the idea of urgency and patience happening at the same time. And again, it goes back to the power of now, right? Like right now is what matters most because you're either growing or you're dying. You're definitely always dying. So I'm like, shoot, if there's any way I can slow this process down, I'm going to try and grow. And that's what, that's what this great big infinite source wants from us, is to continue to grow. And then the last thing is the contribution, in which he says is the secret to living. The secret to living is giving. And I just thought that was really interesting. Again, that, the first 4, they fulfill our personality and our ego's needs. And that's where most people stop at. But if we want true fulfillment, we need to fulfill our spiritual needs, which is growth and contribution. And so, I just really appreciated that reminder, because I was like, if it's just food, shelter, and water, then we can get pretty down, pretty low in the sense to actually move. But I just appreciated this aspect that for me, what depends on what the target is, depends on which need is the target right now. And so I'm at a place of contribution, like I want to be at a place where I can start contributing, growth for me. That's definitely the season that I'm in right now, whether it's mentally, emotionally, spiritually. There's definitely some personality needs that still need to be fulfilled. But honestly, that contribution one is and so that's what we're working on. So again, whether you're in a human design or not, if your motivation still happens to be similar to mine, just know in general that there's 6 human needs when it comes to being human in this life. And so just again, number 1, certainty; number 2, uncertainty; 3, significance; 4, love and connection. And if you really want to experience fulfillment, then growth and contribution. So I hope that supports you in your journey, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye now.